DBSCG things.
What's up, Yuhp gang? It's your White Texan and welcome back to Yuhp DBSCG things. And today we're bringing another very exciting deck profile, guys. This is going to be one that I seen prowling around my local, and I was like, man, that is absolutely awesome, and I gotta pick it up for the channel. So with that being said, guys, this is Yuhp. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to say if you want a custom card sleeves and or mats, check out Promats, guys. This is the best place to go get your custom card needs. Links in the description as usual. And also on the screen now you can see that they are holding a monthly tournament via Discord at the second weekend of every single month with some great prizing here. You can come win some Promat mats, TCG middle leaders, and also some booster boxes. So if this is something you're interested in, guys, use the links in the description below to go to this Discord and join it. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this list or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, guys, let's spin this around and dive in. Alrighty, you guys, and here we are with the deck profile I decided to grab this week. Son Goku and or Yuhp, whatever you guys want to call him, from the new Ultimate Squad set. Did actually pretty well today. I actually versed this deck myself, and man, was it a rough one. So go ahead and tell us about your deck today and your matchups.
Yeah, it was Son Goku, otherwise known as Yuhp. See, I faced off Cooler. He was doing. I will say first off, I think the Cooler, in my opinion, just from our matchup, the Cooler seems to be doing a little bit better at its game than myself. But I had the bye of the second round. I faced U7, red U7 for the third match. Third match was a little bit rougher, but we went. See, I lost that one, but we ended up we actually had a little bit of a side. I saw a little bit more of my cards, and that's kind of a favorable matchup once we start getting into it a little bit. I can actually kind of play off of stuff like that. But anyways, on leader front side, when he swings, he goes, he rips a life, and then he searches top 5 for a yellow unison, 1 cost. He puts it into the field in rest. And then on his backside, his awaken is, by the way, it's when your life is 4 or less, you get to actually draw and untap. So it's kind of nice getting that untap as well on the yellow, new yellow leader that actually gets both of them, not just a draw or whatever. And on the front side, he's got the auto. When he swings, he goes ahead and he just draws you a card. And if you happen to have a card in hand, a yellow unison with a 1 cost specified, you go ahead and play it in rest mode with a marker on it. And then he also has an activate main once per turn. If you have 8 unison cards in your drop, you go ahead and you pay 2 yellow. You go ahead and tuck those underneath at the bottom of your deck in whichever order you wish. And then you go ahead and switch him back to active. He gets a 10k buff, and he gets a double strike as well. And then he also, on his defense, he has an activate battle once per turn where he can spirit boost. He can remove markers, and for every marker he removes, he gets a 5k buff, which is kind of nice.
That's actually really good in a save yourself situation.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, especially.
You use that in your U7 matchup.
It saves you a card in hand if you just want to get rid of a marker or whatever. You just go ahead and save yourself the card and just minus a marker. And on the big swings or whatever, you happen to have your 3 cost unisons or unisons with a lot of markers on them. It definitely helps you a lot on that, especially on those big double strike swings. For my main package, I'm running the 4 of the Searchers, the Gohan. He when he's played, he top 5s for a yellow unison specified cost 3 or less. So you can go ahead. He's your Searcher for your Gohan. And then he also has a activate main, limit 1. If you have 3 or more energy, yellow energy, you go ahead, you pay 2, you send him to drop, and then you go ahead and you play the 3-drop Gohan Unison from your hand with 3 markers on it, so it's pretty nice. Yeah, turn 1, definitely. If you don't, and I put these next to each other, if you don't see one or the other, these are technically, for me right now, these are my turn 1 plays. If I happen to get lucky and I see this 1-drop unison, I'm playing him. Otherwise, right off the rip, I'm trying to get myself established and get some unisons in hand. That way, when the time comes, I can go and play it.
Being able to play, in my opinion, that's crazy. Being able to play your turn 3 unison for only 2 energy and save yourself an energy for defensive plays is just absolutely crazy.
And you play him with 3 markers right off the bat, you're getting a 1 cost discount right there.
And he comes out, like he still comes out with the 3, and of course he still gets an empower effect on top of those 3 markers. So it's essentially the same thing as just playing the unison itself, except for it costs
+1 less.
Yeah, so if you happen to have a unison on board for your swing, you go ahead and have your one. Even if you have just a one drop in there, immediately can follow up. If you happen to have the conditions met, you go ahead and just pay this. So for a total of 3 investment, you go ahead, you play your Gohan, which normally comes out with 4 markers. You get to wipe the board in rest mode, ignoring barrier. So it's pretty much, if you get set up right, it's a very cheap
You can stick him
wipe.
on field turn 2, which is crazy. And if he just doesn't get wiped before your turn 3, that's just pure value.
You get it set up.
Value.
Yeah, if you get it set up, sometimes you get to even play 2 of those Gohan unisons on a turn, which is really nice. Then the 18, she's just a turn 1. She's just helping me get some markers on the unison. That way I can start using my empower effects. For +2, she's got where I peep the top 3. I go ahead and I just rearrange the cards however I want between those 3. Yeah. And if by some chance, especially for the top 5, it knows that hey, I'm good to go ahead and swing if I want to sequence it a certain way. Down the road if I don't happen to play her on turn 1. And then her -2, I get to draw 3, and then choose 2. Center and bottom deck. What's nice is if you happen to get clunked up with unisons, you go ahead and just tuck them in your deck real quick. So she's definitely a solid, and then getting those markers up real quick for your empower effects is really nice. Right now I run 3 of the 1-drop Piccolos. It's just it's kind of situational between the 1-drops. But right now what I like doing is I like doing the combo with the Vegeta. Sometimes I'll even hardcast him and just get those markers up because he's a +1. Yeah, nothing too crazy. He's probably my least favorite out of the bunch.
All of these 1-drops are like 15k attack.
Yeah. They're little weenies, but they got some cool effects once you get on where you can kind of plus really nice off them. This is probably my favorite one so far. I like the Yamcha because when he comes in the field with 3 markers, he taps 2 battle cards. He doesn't get through barrier, unfortunately, but you tap 2 battle cards. That's a great effect for a free play, essentially.
Yeah, that's really good. That'll trigger poutine plays as well as tapping down blockers so that you can be more aggressive.
Absolutely, yeah. And you get set up for your turtless plays if you want to do that. However you want to play it, yeah, it's just really nice. And then he just has I rarely ever use the +1. It's usually always the +0. Draw 1 card, and then I just get set up.
Right.
Just
because he comes out for 3, and more than likely you're going to end up replacing him anyways, and then that power will just carry over to the next unison.
Yeah, just like hardcast him. If I can get him out there on the field with the full 3 markers, feel much safer about keeping him out there. Sometimes I like trying if I can get there out here for 2 turns to where possibly I can get a second draw before I start getting my setup for my next unison plays. It definitely comes in the clutch. So I run 4 of those. I got 4 of the Vegetas. It was at 3 for a little bit, but right now I need to see that consistency on the top 5 for the leader search. What's nice about him is he's got an empowered 2 yellow, so he'll come in over another unison with 3 markers on it for 1. Or off my lead for free. And what's nice is when he's played in the field with 3 markers on it, he gets a +5k buff, and then he KOs a rested card with 4 or less. It doesn't get through barrier again, but still, it's a nice little. It's a free play proc spot removal if you need it, depending on which way you want to play. And then what's nice is when you send to your drop from unison area, it draws you a card. So it allows you to set up another time if you happen to want to set up, into this Gohan. It's nice because you get a plus off playing your Gohan. So it's kind of cool. And then all right, the big boy. I got I'm running 3 of the SS2 Son Gohan Z Fighter. Thanks Taxi for the last one. I appreciate it. I needed this guy. This guy is what made me want to play the whole deck to begin with. What's crazy about this is he's got Power 3 yellow. He has blocker. When he comes into the board with 4 more markers, he KOs anything ignoring barrier. Depending on how many unisons you have in your drop, which I'm always having at least 4 or 5 cards unisons in my drop. So he ignores that. KOs them. He can +1. It's good if you're just sitting there waiting, just maybe keeping some markers for your defensive turns for your spirit boost on your leader. But his -3 is absolutely amazing. He gives you and the unison and your leader 5k until the end of your opponent's next turn, and then he gives himself triple attack. So you're coming in 3 times if you want, unless you want to set up for the blocker for the next turn if you don't think you're going to be able to finish it. But he's got 3 swings and he gives you and your leader 5k buff until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you got an inherent sensu beam, which is just...
And that's absolutely crazy. I'm not going to lie. I just watched a battle you played against U7, and you dropped this card and -3 on it 2 times in 1 turn. And then U7 had to deal with a 25k leader on his opposing turn after you couldn't kill him. And it was just something he couldn't do. So, it, of course, just went back to you. So that was just absolutely wild seeing that happen. The fact that it carries over to the end of your opponent's next turn is really good.
Yeah, it's nice having that. You don't see that too much in any other color besides, I mean, blue. You'd be able to have that whole time. I mean, be able to just keep your 5k buff. I mean, for essentially 2 turns. That's amazing. And then, being able to, I mean, if you get lucky enough to where you can play 2 of these, I'm thinking about just throwing the 4th one in there. But if you get lucky enough and you play 2 of these and you get a 25 base and you still have markers on your unison, if you don't happen to game them that turn, they're coming for the snapback. You still have unison markers, so you can spirit boost, and you still have a nice little body on top of that too. This card is it's wild, absolutely crazy card. I'm running for the Robotic Repose. I was debating between this and the guy could put the shiny one up front. Debating between this and maybe swapping one out, maybe throwing Oceanus in there or something. But this is just great because I'm always live turn 2 between stuff that I'm usually charging. So right now it's great just having that floodgate right there. Right now I'm running 3 of on the Sun Goku. I'm trying to figure out my ratios on this. This is by no means a complete build. There's still plenty of work to be done on this deck. But right now I'm running 3 on this guy. What's great, you just go ahead and you tap, you play him in rest mode, and then you go ahead for an extra effect. Oh, if you have a unison in play, he only costs 1 specified yellow. But when you play him, he plays rested, and if they have no response, you can go ahead and you can spirit boost for 1, and you can choose a card, and you tap it, and if it's 5 or less, you can KO it. You KO this card, and you get to draw 1, so it replaces itself as well, which is really nice. You can get potentially a big body off the field, which is amazing. Nice little addition, especially, I mean, for this deck, you're always seeing unisons. I mean,
triggering a rest, which triggers your plays of like things like Poutine, and then of course clearing the card directly after, that's really good.
Yeah, that too, absolutely. Right now, no fancy arts on these guys. I'm still working on this, but 3 of on the super combos.
Not much to say about him. 4 runs, bottom deck 1, draw 2.
3, a little ominous. Why am I only run 3 super combos?
He said a little ominous.
I'm running 2 of the freeze negates. If I by some chance if I'm getting slow played a little bit, it's nice having that extra life to rip to get me down to 4 life.
Absolutely. And the defensive power to help protect your unisons if your opponent's deciding to actually try to kill your unisons is actually really amazing.
Absolutely, because I really have no self-awakening besides the lead, so it can be a little strenuous trying to get your awakening, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, of course, who doesn't want token negates? This card right now, MVP. I need more of these. Buy these cards. This card right now, it has 1 cost. It's a counterattack. It's not a hard counter, but it does negate the attacking card's skills, which is huge, absolutely huge.
Ignoring barrier, which is also really huge.
If you happen to get sneaky and they aren't doing anything with their unison yet, they go in with your unison. You go ahead and if you have a unison in play, this is a free cast. You don't have to pay anything to play this. But you get to, if you can get this on a unison, or sometimes you get like a cool leader or whatever that needs like activate abilities after besides autos. If you got some cool activate mains, this card right now is just, I mean.
And the way you play it, I see. Sorry to cut you off, but I've seen the way you played this card against U7. Your opponent missequenced his turn. He didn't use it. It was like turn 5, so this was obviously the turn you're scared of SSB Vegeta Unbridled and/or Ultra Mastery. So he swung lead first, and of course, like you were like, oh, you didn't grab that from drop area yet? Yeah, well, let me use this because you haven't used any of your activate effects, and I'm not gonna let that happen.
Yeah,
So it was like seeing that happen was like crazy to me. The fact that you were like, yeah, no more bursting for you this turn, and you're also not gonna be able to grab your super combo and/or boss monsters.
Which I saw him purposely put in the drop, and yeah, so he had four.
He did, yeah,
he
he
had
violently
4
raised
energy
it,
live,
pitched it.
and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna let that next play happen. And then also as well, he didn't think I had this in hand. He went in with his Vegeta. He swung with him. I had this. It didn't negate the attack, but it stopped his triple attack. He couldn't restand, and he couldn't activate his main to send everything
It
to
became
jam.
essentially just a big 40k single strike.
Totally disrupted his whole game. He was off tilt after that. He's playing a little differently after that card was played. This card right now is just for the aggro matchup / charge target depending on the matchup, but this is nice because it just negates the attack. They can only attack with battle cards once more for the turn. He's got a cool little activate battle on my turn where I don't really play it, but you get to rest mode and you get plus 10k buff.
Rest anything ignoring barrier, which is really solid. And
It is.
10k.
I'm
Pretty good. It's not as good as the floodgate itself, but it's still a really good.
I still haven't. I mean, I'm not a yellow player. I'm a main
That
blue
card
player, so I
tag-
still got a
tag
plenty.
with your unison, man. Like you just cast that for 1 and then block with your unison. You're like, okay, your turn's over.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. I'm gonna have to swap it on the other side. And then on the Realm of Gods, I run 2. It's great having this. If I need to tap and get a poutine out, I can go ahead and do that. Of course, you know, I mean, I think the Realm of Gods cards are great. Also, worst case, charge target for an extra card. But I love this card. I love being able to tap,
Being
especially.
able to get anything bigger than the energy out of the way and/or tap 2 incoming attacks is just really good.
Oh yeah. Tapping 2 for 1 is just amazing. And drawing.
They replace it itself
Like,
as well.
I think this probably won't. If not blue, I think this one is probably one of my more favorite ones. The Realm of God stuff. Of course, you can only run one of these guys, but this card's nice. Being able to tap down unisons unexpectedly and/or battle cards kind of nice. You gotta have one up to play this effect for free, or worst case, you just negate the attack if you got nothing else. Nice card. Everyone knows that one though. Poutine. Yeah, if you run lead and you're tapping stuff down, you probably want to play her. She comes down barrier once you rest something, and then anytime player plays a battle card, with counter skills or skills, you go ahead once per turn. You tap it down, so you have to proc this every single time they play that.
And it's not the card the thing is too is this card is really sweet. It's when your opponent plays a battle card with a skill or activates a counter. So if you're going in for turn and your opponent's like negate, you can just be like, yeah, poutine, rest a blocker, or rest something in the field that you want to KO with an effect later, or something like that, which is actually really, really good. Or if your opponent decides to counter one of your incoming cards on their turn, like let's say you play Vegeta Prideful Transformation on their turn, let's say they counter it, you immediately get to rest something on their turn. So there's so many different situations where that card triggers it.
You actually opened my eyes. I didn't realize you could choose any one on that.
Yeah, it's not the card played. You actually get to pick anything in the field and rest it, any battle card.
Well, thanks for that, Tags. Appreciate it. Cooler counter. It's good to run one. If I ever have the energy open enough to where I'm going in, yeah, it's definitely great. I mean, of course.
If you're playing yellow, you're playing a copy of that for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have. Of course, on these guys, we got to run 4 of on these guys, put the shiny guy up front. You're always having a use in play, especially for your turn 1. This is huge. Turn 1, turn 2, it's good to always have one of these in hand. You can stop yourself if they get a little too crazy on the aggression. You go.
Opponent's trying to kill your units or something. This will go ahead and rest something and block an attack towards it.
I'm good. And it's crazy. It's nice seeing these older cards getting some play again. You know, like who would have thought this card would be? I mean, for a newer deck.
For how long it was gone, too. How long it was gone, it got replaced by Steadfast Goku and just made a
Oh yeah, it is in this card's. Yeah, it's great. I mean, absolute 4 of in this deck, absolutely. See, for this, I run 3 of the Final Flash. It's yellow's 15k extra card. Ignores barrier, negates skills. Not much else to say about that. Especially, I mean, it's nice to get rid of those pesky
That card
autos.
alone will make it to your opponent will absolutely never shotgun on you if you have energy up.
Yeah, so Zeno, bring it, bro. Anyways, run 2 the steadfast. I'm running 2 and 2 on these guys because it's not every turn that you have this much energy open to play these counters or these plays. Yeah, I mean,
like you have
if you're
the
ready
4
for it.
Vegetas and they're active and live way earlier than
Exactly.
Vegeta is.
That was
He's
that
also
was
free.
where my mindset was too, between this and that new 1-drop, or the technically the 3-drop, but plays for 1. I think between this and that card, I mean, we will pretty much get the job done. And paying 1, yeah, it can be. It's not always. You sometimes rather keep the 1 open for maybe like the freeze and the gate or something like that. It's all situational, but I think 2 right now is a good spot for this.
And like we already mentioned, the ratios on this build are not perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone's still trying to find the build that's right for
Still
this.
definitely working it out on this one. I'm trying. 2 of on the tier list. Everyone knows what the tier list does. Draws, KOs, or EKOs, 2 cards on play. Double strike. I run 2 of the Dragon Fist Goku. He's really nice. He can be a little sneaky, getting in there and tapping or just KOing some 2 battle cards. He doesn't get through the barrier like the Gohan, so this is kind of nice if I'm trying to go face a little bit harder with the battle card. If I already got a unison established and I don't happen to play the Gohan, or he's on board, and I still have time or energy left over to play this. When he deflect double strike, when he gets played, KO 2 your opponent's battle cards rest mode, and then he's got an activate main for 3. This is what it costs. If you got 4, you pay 3 for him. And then he's got another activate main, Spirit Boost for 2, activate or once per turn. This card gains dual attack, and none of your opponent's battle cards can interact with this 7 or less, which is nice.
That says goodbye all floodgates. So essentially, if you start your turn off by playing this card and then activate that Spirit Boost effect right away and then swing with it, as long as your opponent isn't playing a deck that has like Dormant, Violent Rays, or like an extra card counter that's going to flood your turn, this card essentially says no Topos, no Boopos, no Poutines, none of any of that, dude. So like that's absolutely amazing, especially against things like SS4 Vegeta Ramp right now. It's just half their deck is like some type of battle card floodgate, and this just says no. So,
yeah, and it's
absolutely
great. This card is actually able. I mean, this card's always pretty much going to be live in this deck, and this card is amazing. Now that you don't have to pay 3 for like a Vegeta or a Trunks 3-cost unison, or just hope that your 18 stays on board long enough for you to be able to play this. It's nice being able to have this card in the deck. It's a huge card. A nice little spice I like to this. Right now, I was torn in between running the Kai secret rare and a couple other secrets I've been kind of messing around with. But this guy right here kind of helps me with that, with the Kai problem. As far as the unison removal, this guy's a deflect blocker permanent. For each unison for each marker on your unison, you get to reduce the cost of this. So no matter what, you're always going to pay 2 yellow. But I mean, from 5 to 2, you basically your turless play. You get to essentially do what you want to do to unison that you would do for the turless on the battle cards. Permanent. For each of the marker that unison that is in play, reduce the cost of this card by 1. Activate main. Choose one of your opponent's unison cards, 3 or more markers on it. When you remove markers from a card using this card's Spirit Boost skill, this turn you can remove that many markers as well from the unison that I choose. So it's great for those unison markers that you're just trying to remove. Especially, I mean, I wish I would have got this off a little bit more play testing with the cooler, because I mean that would have been great to see exactly how effective this was.
in our matchup, that was pretty effective.
But the
you
one
dropped my 5 marker unison down to 1 in a single instance.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
for that one, it was definitely great. I want to get more testing in with this though, and really kind of see what he has. But it's great for removing your unison markers. Of course, getting that KO in rest mode as well when you activate is of course. See, energy cost 4 or less, so that's what it is. And then getting the 5K buff and double strike, you're definitely going to be getting pretty close to getting KO in the unison, that's for sure. It's a nice little tech. Of course, deflect blocker, if nothing else. And then I'm running this guy right now. This card's actually pretty freaking wicked. This card right here, I don't run the 3 super combos of the Krillin because this card right here, this
takes up both slots.
Yeah,
your secret rare slot and your super combo slot.
I don't know how I feel about that right now, to be honest. But I mean, I'm essentially getting, an extra 2K or an extra 2 super combos worth of combo power on this for usually the turns I'm going in. It's great playing this because you get to draw 2, essentially 1 on play and then 1 on the swing. It's great for the extra keeping your hand up, and then of course having a 40k body on board if you're just trying to go in for game. This card is awesome. I don't know what people were turning their nose upwards at.
I was watching one of your interactions, dude, and I believe what I seen was it was either your unison or your leader. I think it was like your leader was beefed up with the effect to make him a double strike. And then you just combo that on top of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is oppressive.
That's what I think great for the Trunks leader as well, the Trunks Cheetah. It's great. I mean, you happen to get one of those guys off guard, and they don't. They let your attacks go through for the lead swing. Boom.
Absolutely.
Double strike. All right, let's go.
Absolutely. And like the turn he's played, he draws 2. He's 40k pressure that your opponent's going to have to deal with. Otherwise, he's going to draw you a card every single turn.
Yeah,
and I think he's really good. Like you pointed out, he's 20k extra worth on this 1 super combo. So like you said, that's 2 super combos worth of just combo power alone, and then he draws 2 on the turn he's played. So that alone can be 2 draws worth of super combos as well. If you think about it.
Actually, if you break it down, there's.
He may take the slots, but he replaces it with what it needs to be replaced with. So.
I wish I got to see it more. I only got to see it for the one game that I played against U7, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that more.
I would like to know what attack was that. I could have swore I walked over and seen you do some spicy stuff. I thought it was with your leader because your leader has that. Let's call it your leader.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the leader.
Activate a main effect. You get 10k and double strike. And I could have swore you were going in with your leader and dropped this on top of it, and that alone is a 55k double strike leader swing.
For 1 card.
For 1 card from hand, which is going to replace itself and then draw a new one. So like that was absolutely crazy.
Buy this card while it's still below $200, guys.
Yeah, I think that card's really, really solid. And if Yellow starts making any more moves and this card is anywhere in sight,
yeah, even for the collectors. I mean, it's you got Piccolo and Gohan next to each other. I mean, come on.
Absolutely, especially with the new movie.
Yeah.
All right, man. With that being said, guys, that was the deck profile. Do you have any final shout-outs?
Well, of course, you guys, Yuhp gang, you guys are always fun putting on these deck profiles with. Gotta give a shout out to VSA, you guys rep. All the people that topped this week at Origins.
Origins,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and so otherwise, fun deck. At least worth giving a shot. I mean, that Gohan. Get that Gohan too. That Gohan. There's a reason why this one's holding value.
To collect it. Look at this
my God!
art.
Throw that bad boy in a slab. Call it a day if you want.
Look at that art.
Oh. And it's what's great is it's the iconic art. It's not like that.
That's how I felt too. The blue Bojack.
Yeah, where you had the Bojack.
I really wish that this deck was Cell Saga.
Yeah, it's the discount Super Kamehameha. This is the one that you want. Yeah.
With the broken arm and all that you gave us. Sweet. All right. So with that being said, guys, that was the deck profile. If you guys enjoyed this list or my content in general, remember to hit all those buttons for me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, guys, we will see you guys next time.